Welcome to our show today, and got a very important topic. But before we get to that topic, I want to introduce my two very special guests, Mr. Marcus Clements and Ms. Allison Keene. Thank you both for joining us on the show today. And we are talking about aging and growing into that age where we need help with planning for the future. Medicaid, Medicare, different types of insurance. And so I've got two pros with me today to share how you guys fit into that picture and how you can help folks in and around Dublin and Lawrence County when it gets time to start making those decisions. So I want to start with you, Allison, and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do there at the agency.
Yeah, well, I am the newest agent at Clements and Keene Insurance. We are a local agency here in Dublin. We focus primarily on health, life, and senior insurance. So that's kind of where we fall in, is the senior insurance category. My dad, Darren, he focuses primarily on group and individual insurance. And so what we do is we provide an office space for people to come in and talk about things that may be confusing if you handle it by yourself on the phone or online. So we have been blessed to have clients in this area that trust us and allow us to do what we love.
Fantastic. And Marcus, I know you've been doing this for quite a while, and you've seen changes, and you know the questions that people have. Yep. And sometimes I like to say to people, even in our industry, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So tell me a little bit about what you do at the agency, how long you've been there, and how you help with some of these questions.
I started 56 years ago in the life insurance business, and over the years, after retiring from a previous insurance company, Darren and I formed Clements and Keene Insurance. At the moment, and for the last several years, I do the Medicare-related coverage. When people turn 65, they're usually eligible for Medicare, and they have tons of questions. Our role, my role, and Allison also does some of this, is to advise people previous to them reaching Medicare on the process of obtaining Medicare and what they need in addition to Medicare. We see our job as more of advising people. Now, we sell insurance. That's how we make our living.
Sure.
But what we do more than anything else is advise people who are aging into Medicare.
And I don't know if you mentioned right then or not, you did mention the age of 65. Does someone wait until they turn 65 and come see you? Do they do that a month or two or three ahead? When should someone start looking into this?
They should begin to look at the process about 3 months at least before they're going to be turning age 65. Those that wait till the last minute, then it's very confusing, and sometimes they don't have it available when they need it. But at least 3 months prior to turning 65, they should come in to see us and let us explain how Medicare works and what's available in addition to Medicare that they're probably going to need.
And Marcus, is there a period of enrollment? Can they come just when they're 65? Does it have to be between October this date, November this date? How does that work?
Very good question. The enrollment period for Medicare and for the products that we furnish is 3 months prior to turning 65, the month you turn 65, and 3 months following the month you turn 65. So there's a 7-month window to get on Medicare, get it in place, get any supplements you might need from us. So you have 7 months in which to do it. Of course, to have everything available when you first go on Medicare, you want to do it during the 3 months prior to, not the 3 months following.
Right. So what I want to do real quick is we're going to take a commercial break, but before we go to that commercial break, Allison, if you would, I want you to make sure and tell folks again the name of the agency, where you guys are located, and what your hours of operation are, and we'll circle back around and close in case somebody misses that or comes in late in the show. But before we go to our first break, let's make sure everybody knows where you're located and what your hours are.
Yeah, so the agency name is Clements and Keene Insurance. We are right across from the Piggly Wiggly, so we shouldn't be too hard to find. We are open from 8:30 to 5 Monday through Thursday, and then we are open 8:30 to 12 on Fridays. And again, we provide a place where people can come in and avoid the confusion of doing this on their own. So.
And we're going to come back and talk about some of the supplements and things that would go along with that. And then we're going to talk about life insurance and a few other important topics. Hope you'll stay with us. We'll be right back.
As a small business owner, when I first bought the company, I had so much on my plate and was worried about what to do next. One thing I didn't have to worry about was health insurance for my employees. Darren came in, laid it out, and just made the process so simple. He'll come, sit down, explain each plan, each option, and it's just been a great relationship. Darren's the type of guy that if it's a good fit, he'll tell you. He's not gonna try to sell you something that's not good for you.
Well, Mike and his team have been clients for a long time, and it's just like working with family. My first paying job, I worked at Piggly Wiggly here in Dublin as a bag boy. So things have come full circle that I get to work with Mike and his employees, and we do our very best to answer their questions, fill their needs, and we work out things on an individual basis.
Dealing with Darren is not just Darren by himself. He has his family around him and other team members that we can depend on. We can pick up the phone and call Allison or any of them and get the same professional care. If you're a small business owner in this area, you owe it to yourself to sit down and give Darren a chance to show you what he can do for your business.
They're just really great guys to work with, and part of our family as well. Local and loving it.
Since 1967.
The tradition continues.
Hi, I'm Erin Melvin. I'm with Companion Care of Georgia. If you find yourself in the need for private home care, we can help. We have the custodial care, assistance in dressing, bathing, showering, medication reminders, hospice support, meal planning and preparation, light housekeeping. We also can assist you in taking you shopping and running small errands, assistance in appointments, transportation when needed, respite care for the caregivers, and we can also just be an enjoyable companion. We can also help you with Alzheimer's and dementia care. So call us at Companion Care of Georgia and we can help today.
Georgia Military College is a 2-year associate's degree granting institution. We are an open admissions college. What that means is all you need to do is have a high school diploma or a GED to get accepted into GMC. We offer several associate's degree programs, including business administration, pre-nursing, psychology, criminal justice, as well as education. We offer classes during the morning, evening, and at night. We even offer some weekend classes. We offer online classes as well as in-seat classes, whatever is convenient for you and your schedule. We are located at 200 South Jefferson Street in Dublin, Georgia. If you want a great education with small class sizes, affordable tuition, we would love to see you here. Stop by to see us or give us a call. Start here, go anywhere. Georgia Military College, Dublin campus.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys again for being here with me. I always enjoy sitting and getting to chat with you. And whether it be, some people might say fortunate, unfortunate, but I know I'm even at that age to start thinking ahead and planning. And that is so important for people to do. And to think about Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare, but even with Medicare, there are different types. And this stuff can be so confusing to people. So Marcus, I'm going to ask you if you would tell me a little bit about these different, I'm looking at some different types of plans here.
Yes.
What are those plans and how do you determine what plan is for which person?
Okay, thank you, Heath. And by the way, we appreciate the opportunity to explain to the community what we do. I had a gentleman in my office a few days ago going on Medicare. He didn't have a clue of anyone in this area to go to for advice, so that's what we're about. When someone reaches Medicare, they normally get Part A, which is hospital expense, and they get Part B of Medicare, which covers medical expenses other than a hospitalization. Medicare pays a good part of the bill, but not all of the charges. So we write Medicare supplements or insurance to supplement Medicare. There's a traditional coverage called a Medigap, is what Medicare calls it. We call it Medicare supplement. But it's intended to pay the medical expenses that Medicare does not pay. And then in addition to that, since Medicare does not pay prescription drugs, from us we hope they get a prescription drug plan, usually called a PDP, to take care of prescription drugs. In the last few years, a product that's very popular now is the Medicare Advantage plan. And this takes some explaining, and that's where we come in for the person to know the difference. But it combines the medical and the prescription drug coverage all in one contract, and it also covers the part that Medicare does not pay. But there's Medicare supplement insurance, there's prescription, standalone prescription drug coverage, and the Medicare Advantage plans. And then you can add some other additional coverage too, like life insurance that Allison will talk about later on.
Let me ask, and this will show my ignorance on this topic some, but Medicare in itself, do I need to come to someone to help me with Medicare? Is that something I just log into my computer at home and get signed up for Medicare? How does that work?
There's three ways to get Medicare. You can log into your computer at home, you can do it on the phone, or you can go into the local Social Security Administration office in Dublin. It's on Hillcrest Boulevard. What we recommend is 3 or 4 months before turning 65 is come in to see us. And by the way, there's never a charge for our service. When you come in for advice, if we actually enroll you into a product, Allison and I we never charge for our services.
Right.
So I recommend they come in before they attempt to enroll in Medicare. Understand the process. We found people that's enrolled in Medicare and thought they had all they needed. And although they wake up one morning
Makes
and
good
say,
sense.
we have
Right.
no prescription drug coverage.
Yeah.
So if they will see us, again, it's not going to cost them anything. Let us explain the process. Then they'll be much more comfortable going forward
Right.
and enrolling in Medicare.
That sounds great, and I would much rather know, okay, now I know what I'm getting when I go get my Medicare, but I also know what I'm not getting.
Sure,
And
sure.
that might be where some of
Sure.
these types of supplements that you guys offer
Sure.
come in. Briefly, if you could tell me, and I don't know anything about this, dual special needs plans and chronic special needs plans.
I can touch on that a little
Okay.
bit. So, as we talked about, when it comes to getting insurance with us, it's going to be within that period, the 3 months before you're 65, the month of your 65th birthday, and then the 3 months after. However, if you are someone that qualifies for Medicaid and you have Medicaid and that's based on your income, we have basically a year-round enrollment for that. So that is a plan that is going to have a lot of benefits to help you be able to get the health coverage that you need that you may not be able to get otherwise. And so that, again, is based on your income. Another option would be a chronic special needs plan. And so that's going to be based on if you have a condition like diabetes or a condition with your heart, COPD, things like that. That qualifies you to get a certain plan, again, that has different benefits compared to what we sell during our open enrollment period and during our during people's personal open enrollment periods, and that's just year-round something that we can provide for those people.
So I think I can't say strongly enough, give these guys a call. Come in and see them, sit down and talk with them, and ask questions, because I'm guessing you guys probably have so many people come to you and say, I've got all these bills, or I've got this situation or this circumstance now because I thought I had something that I didn't have.
If I could touch on that, Heath, that is so true. We have people come in they're going on to Medicare, or they're eligible for Medicare. They don't know the difference in Medicare and Medicaid, and they think they're enrolling in Medicaid, which is a totally different area. Another reason to come see us, if they purchase insurance online or on the phone, which they can do, the coverages available are specific to the region in which we live. as an example, if you buy online and someone enrolls you in a HMO product, which is a health maintenance organization, it likely will not work in Lawrence County because the providers, most of them, will not accept it. They're out of network. So that's another reason to see us, because the products that we write are specific for this area.
Right.
Whereas the guy on the phone in California or the person in Miami, they don't know what the market is in Dublin, Georgia.
And I've had conversations with you guys prior to the show today about the importance of having a local person, a local trusted person, somebody that's been here, been in this community. You know where to find them, you know who you're talking to, and that is so important to feel comfortable when you're talking about these things.
Yeah.
And sorry, you can go ahead.
We see, when we enroll someone, we don't see our role ending right then. We're just getting started. We're available year-round, and when they have a claim and when they have a question, we jokingly say we may see them at church, we may see them in the grocery store, or we may see them at Walmart. If we're not doing our job, they know where to come, and they know where to find us.
Well, and a good lead into our next subject would be the life insurance part of this, and I have some policies with you guys, and I appreciate the fact that I have called several times. I get these statements. I don't do insurance every day. I don't know what this means sometimes, and you guys are great. You and your dad come down to the office and sit with me and go through. So 2 important things to talk about to start with is enrollment period, and then just that, the evaluation that you guys come to do and say, hey, everything looks good, we don't need to change anything, but I imagine sometimes there might be reasons to change. So talk to me about open enrollment, and then maybe what changes sometimes that people need to make as their policies mature.
Yeah, so our open enrollment period for our senior clients is typically October 15th through December 7th. And that is a time where you can come in and just, have a reevaluation, make sure you've got what is the best fit for you. You can make changes with a prescription drug plan, or you can make changes with an Advantage plan. We really enjoy that time period. It's busy, but we enjoy it because it's a chance for us to kind of check in with all of our clients and make sure that they're pleased with their coverage, and answer any questions that they have. So it's a fun time for us when the fall comes around.
And Alice, tell me about the different kinds of life insurance that you guys offer, the different policies.
Yeah, of course. And the open enrollment period, that's specific to the health insurance. But in terms of life insurance, there are 2 general areas that come into play. We have term and then we have permanent. And so permanent is going to be more of your whole life insurance. And then we've got universal life as well, which is kind of a combination of the 2. When it comes to our clients that are in the senior market, more mature, as my granddad likes to say, they're typically looking more at permanent life insurance, or what we call final expense policies. And oftentimes a lot of those clients come in worried that there's nothing out there for them, because you do hear the younger you are, the healthier you are, the more inexpensive life insurance is. And while that is true, I tell a lot of our senior clients, do not be afraid of the idea of life insurance at this age, because the options are still endless. We have guaranteed issue policies. We have policies that we can get you without medical exams. And so there are plenty of options, and you don't have to worry, will I qualify or not? We can work to find a solution that best fits your needs.
Is there a too young or too old for a policy?
I'll let you hit on that. I will say we work with people of all ages, but if you're worried about being too old necessarily, I think that's when our guaranteed issue policy comes into play, but I'll let you touch on that a little bit more.
We actually issue life insurance from birth through age 85 now.
Okay.
Of course, if you're in your 70s or 80s, in all probability, you're looking for a final expense policy.
And let's hope you don't wait till you get 80 to get some life
that's
insurance.
that's not the time, but it is
We'll
available.
see you there.
For a family who, let's say we have a typical family, couple of kids, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, term insurance is available. For a healthy adult in that age group is so inexpensive. There's really no reason why anyone does not have life insurance that has the responsibility of raising a family and all that's involved in that. Is very inexpensive if you have a temporary need, like until my children are grown and away. But the greatest need for life insurance is while you're raising your family. However, there's a need usually for a final expense, and that's what we do in the senior market. But you can actually buy life insurance through age 85.
Okay, and something else I want to make sure that we cover and talk about, and maybe this is a lot more common knowledge for folks than it was for me when I was younger, but I had folks that would come to me from time to time to talk to me about life insurance, and the company that I worked at provided life insurance, and I didn't have to pay for it. It was included. They did that. That was one of the perks or the benefits. What happens with folks, and what do you say to these folks that work in a facility that provides life insurance?
Well, I hear that a lot, and my first response is always great. You know, any life insurance that you have, that's fantastic. You're ahead of a lot of people. But I will say something that a lot of people do not consider is the fact that if you leave that job, you're probably going to lose that. That's going to stay with the company. And so we always recommend that obviously keep that, but you want to have additional insurance to add on to that as well. And specifically, it's good to go ahead and get whole life with that, because there's probably going to be an end to that you have through work. And so if you get a whole life policy, that's going to be permanent. As long as you pay it, it's in place.
Heath, an interesting fact, less than 2% of group term life insurance is ever paid out as a death claim. So 98% of those who have group term insurance, and I would encourage them to get all they can, but less than 2% of that is actually paid as a claim. So that's why Allison's saying have some life insurance that's going to extend past the time of your working years, because there will come a time when you leave, you retire, and it's great while you're working. It's very inexpensive, but don't base your whole future insurance program on your group insurance.
Right.
Because there's a 98% chance that you're going to leave that place without using your life insurance.
That's right. So go ahead and have that policy and have something, a safeguard, have that in place. And you never know these days when, whether you leave, it might be your choice, might be the company letting you go for other reasons, and you don't want to find yourself without that peace of mind and that security that you are taking care of your family should something happen. So, wonderful conversation again. Thank you guys. We've got a few more things we're going to cover when we come back. We're going to take one more quick break, and we hope you'll come back with us.
MedFirst is committed to service and quality care. Located on Hillcrest Parkway near Fairview Park Hospital, we're built on the philosophy of continually providing new and effective services to meet the healthcare needs of the communities we serve. We have a complete inventory of all the latest in-home medical equipment and appliances. Also, the latest technology in seat lift chairs is displayed in one of the largest medical showrooms anywhere. MedFirst has become a leader in sleep therapy services in the Middle Georgia area, as well as home respiratory services. We have staff on call to help you at any time, day or night. So call us today at 478-274-1900 or come by and see us at 1204 Hillcrest Parkway.
Hi, I'm Meg Greer-Evans with Middle Georgia Estate Planning here in Dublin, Georgia. At Middle Georgia Estate Planning, we focus on estate planning, which covers the creation of wills, powers of attorney, and healthcare directives, as well as the creation of revocable or irrevocable trusts. We also specialize in elder law and can assist with guardianships and conservatorships, as well as asset protection for those that are looking to their elder years in life and wondering how they'll plan for their care. If you have any questions about estate planning or elder law, or how you can protect your assets for your care and the future of your family, give us a call at 478-272-2885.
As we age, we face more physical concerns. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine can help you live a more pain-free life. Back pain, stiff joints, balance concerns, arthritis, and more. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine can help you improve your quality of life. Call for a free evaluation today. 478-275-1800. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine accepts referrals from your doctor, or no referral is needed with direct access for up to 8 visits. So call for your free consultation today. 478-275-1800. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine, 911 Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin, or at rehabadvantagesportsmed.com.
Townsend Brothers Funeral Home has been serving our community since 1937. Our family will treat your family with grace, dignity, and heartfelt sincerity with an extraordinary level of professionalism. You are our friends, and it is a privilege to take care of you and your loved one in a time of need. Townsend Brothers Funeral Home, family owned and family focused.
Welcome back to the show. I tell you, it's something you wouldn't think you would be really excited about learning, but it is. And it's one of those things that people just put off, I guess. I'm sure you guys see it with insurance all the time. People, it's just not at the forefront, and a lot of times, I bet, unfortunately, it's almost too late when people say, wow, or again, a common mistake as well, I thought we had that covered.
Yes.
So maybe, and you guys touch on this, it's a good idea. Get out your policies, find what you can find, bring it in, and let you guys look over it and give somebody an assessment and tell them what they have and what they don't have.
That's a lot of what we do, whether it's life insurance or health insurance, is we have clients come in and they bring, whether that's all of the Medicare mail that they've received, which you will get a lot of when you get to that age, or if it's an old policy, you don't know who the agent was on it and you don't know much about it. If you bring that in, we will obviously do our very best to look through that, do some searching, and make sure that you are aware of what you have and what's in place. And from that point on, we can determine if you need more. But if you have something that is a good fit for you, even if you didn't get it through us, we're going to tell you that's a good fit. We're not there just to make a dollar. We're there to help you in any way that we can.
Well, and share with me, I'm sure you guys have a story or two where we want to make sure, again, to drive home the importance of local. And you guys being here and you guys being accessible and available. Has anybody ever come in and said, hey, we were scammed, or we were taken by somebody, or we thought we had something and it was out of town? Give me an example of something, why that's so important.
Heath, I've had people in my office literally in tears. They purchased something, they didn't know the person they was purchasing it from, or they did it on the phone, sometimes online, and once they receive the contract, they find out it's not what the guy said on the phone. So a lot of what we do is try to rescue them from a bad decision, when they were led in a direction they didn't know what was happening. Many times, and the majority of times, we can get them to the right place. There's a rare circumstance where we're not able to rescue them immediately from the bad decision they've made. But that's another reason to shop locally, as the chamber says. If you purchase, whether it be life insurance or a Medicare-related product, the premium rates are regulated by law. You can't find it cheaper on the phone, or you can't find it cheaper online. So why pay the very same thing and get no service?
Right.
If we write you the very same product, it's the same premium, and you get us 12 months a year.
And I would tell you, I would, and I hope other folks would, I would be willing, if it were more, to pay more, just for that peace of mind to know I've got somebody here that's local, and when I've got a question, I can pick up the phone, or I can stop into that office and get my question answered. So let me ask one more question before we wrap up here. So keeping up to date, I'm sure things change and laws change and things are just crazy today, and I'm sure it's no different in the insurance agency. How do people know? Allison's fairly new with doing this, and they may say, well, you know, Mr. Marcus, you've been doing this a long time. You might have forgot some things. How do people know you're up to date and you're current on everything that's going on?
We both laugh when you say that because it is very involved, and we are happy to do it because we know that, you know, life insurance and especially health insurance, it's ever changing. But we have basically certifications and new education that we have to go through, not just for basic health insurance and life insurance, but per carrier. As I mentioned from the very beginning, we are an independent agency, and so we can shop around for you, and we sell for multiple carriers, multiple insurance companies. And so we stay up to date and get certified with each individual company, as well as Medicare as a whole. So you've done a lot more than me, so I'll let you touch on it as well.
I have been licensed for 56 years, and I've had a lot of experience. But the insurance business, like every other business, I suppose, is constantly changing. Allison and I will spend about 60 hours
That's what I was wondering
in the months of August and September.
Okay.
We'll spend about 60 hours
Wow.
recertifying. I get no credit for having been in the business 56 years. I have to prove to CMS, the Center for Medicare Services, that I'm up to date on the Medicare market.
And this is every year, you guys go through
Every
this
year.
every year.
We have to have continuing education to satisfy the state of Georgia that we know what we're doing in selling life insurance. So it's an annual, continual process. And it's frustrating at times to have to spend that much time. I can say I've been in the business so long, but it's really needed because we're in such a changing market and a change in business until it's needed. And it's not easy. It's not for everyone, but we do our best to stay sharp, stay on top of things, and we have this process to make that happen.
Fantastic. I say one of you, if you would, take a look into the camera and just give yourself about a good 2 minute or 1 minute or whatever infomercial. Kind of recap what we've talked about today, that touch on those 2 or 3 most important topics, and then let folks know again where you're located and when they can come see you.
Who's going to take it away?
Well, we're at Clements and King Insurance, and we're located at 503 Bellevue Avenue. That's directly across the street from the Piggly Wiggly in Dublin. We are a specialty agency in that we specialize in life and health insurance. We do all forms of life insurance, all forms of health insurance, with a special emphasis on Medicare-related products. As far as I know, we're the only agency between Macon and Savannah that's dedicated entirely to the sales and service of life and health insurance. There's never a fee for our service. Well, if we can help you out of a situation that you're presently in, we're glad to do it. We will not charge you. If you bring something in and want us to look at it, and in our opinion you have good coverage already, we're not going to try to replace it. We're going to say you made a wise decision back there. If you need local service, we'll even service it, but we're going to do what we feel in our heart is best for our clients.
Thank you for that and for those services, and thank you that you guys are available. And I know firsthand, I've worked with both of you and Darren and seen how your staff works, and that's important, and it's especially important in a community like this to know that we have people that are not only knowledgeable but trustworthy that we can come to and get these answers. So thank you for your time today, and thank you for joining us as well.